Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you. This is going to be my Shahada story. So, about a week before I decided to accept Islam, I came home and my wife had been talking to me, and she knew that I was kind of getting worked up and anxious about Islam. And I had actually at this point I had read the Quran, a translation of the Quran twice, and I had been studying for a number of years, and I was constantly watching lectures, and I thought she would just, it was late on a Friday night, I'd get into these debates and about Islam and religion and belief systems and all that with the people I worked with. And I came home late, and I was kind of worked up, and I just had decided that I wanted to do it. And my wife had known before I did. And I came home and she looked at me, and I thought that we were going to get into this screaming match, and she was going to be all angry with me. And she just looked at me and she stared at me and she says, "What are you, stupid? Like, what are you doing?" And I was like, uh-oh. I'm tired. I just got home from work. I don't want to, oh no. What now? What did I do? Oh. She said, "If this is that important to you and you need this, I don't understand it, but I'll support you." And I just felt like, I don't even remember, I think I even kind of cried. So, a manly cry, a little tear or two. So, but it struck me, and it really showed me that I was making the right decision, because I've been with my wife for 20 years, and actually 21 years this year, and well, at least since we started dating. We've only been married for about half of that time, but we have had our ups and downs, but it was just the fact that she was supporting me in this decision that I wanted to do it, because we talked, and the main reason why I was stalling with the decision was because, as you can see, I'm very extroverted. I like to put my face out there. I like to talk. I like to be around people, and I'm social. My wife, on the other hand, is not so social. That's why she doesn't do a lot of videos. She's nervous, and she's very critical. She's done a number of videos just she's not comfortable with, so I don't post them. And because I respect my wife, that's what we're supposed to do. Muslim men are those that are best to their wives. So back to my story. With the Shahada, I knew basically about it and how to accept Islam. And so what ended up happening was I sent an email to the Imam on a Sunday night, and I said to him, I'm really interested in Shahada, and I had been working with two brothers that had been talking to me and helping me out and helping me to learn. And so my first instinct actually was to call in sick on the Monday, because I wanted to go to the masjid and I wanted to talk, because the Imam had responded to me and said, "Look, there's something really important coming up on Friday, and I'm not going to have a lot of time, so if this is something you need to talk about, could you come in the next day or so, and we'll sit down and we'll talk." And I had been to the masjid a couple times before, and I'll try to talk about that another time, because there's some funny, entertaining things that happened to me at my 1 or 2 visits I had. But so I went in on the Monday, but like I said, I wanted to call in sick to work, because that's what we do. It's just a little white lie, But then I said, no, I want to start this off correctly. So I called to work and I said, "Look, it just so happened that I had transitioned at the time, and one of the Muslim brothers actually was my boss at the time." And I said to him, "Look, I got something personal that came up, and I can't come into work." And I felt weird about it, because it's just, it's weird being honest. I mean, it's amazing how many people lie, and when they just say, "Look, I got something that happens. Life happens, and you need to take a break." But so many people take the approach of, "Sorry, oh, I'm sick, I can't come into work," right? Whatever. So I wanted to start off on the right foot, so I told him, "Look, I got something personal to do." And I actually worked about 1 kilometer from the masjid to where I worked. So I went in, and I was sitting in the corner, and they were all lining up. He says, so the Imam came and talked to me, and he said, "Okay, after we're done the prayer, I'll come over and we'll talk." And my boss and his brother came walking in, and they walked by me, but they were in a hurry to make the prayer, and they had their mouth dropped open. I saw it in their eyes, and they knew. And they were like, "Why is he here?" Right? And they had this little grin, and I saw it in their face. And I don't know if I don't think I've ever talked to them about this, but I saw it. They knew before I did as well. The one brother used to walk behind me at work, and he'd whisper in my ear, and he'd go, "Shahada, Shahada." right? And he whispered like, so, you know, there's a little joke we have because we believe that you get whispers in your head. You hear things in your head and you either react to them and you don't. People have bad thoughts sometimes. And as Muslims, we believe that these are the whispers of shaitan, that they're just things that you shouldn't do. You know you shouldn't do them, but sometimes they just say, you know, it's okay, go and do it. You know, oh, just, you know, you're a kid. Just take the candy bar. Nobody's watching you. You know, or, you know, oh, go out and cheat on your wife. You know, who's gonna know? You're in a hotel room. No one's gonna know, right? I mean, obviously I've gone to extremes there, but you get the idea. So anyway, so the Imam sat down with me and he started talking, and we talked for a few minutes, and they came running over afterwards and sat down, and they were all excited, and they just sat there. They never said a word, but they just sat there and stared at me. The Imam basically said, you know what? Through the conversation, he got the feeling. I told him and says, do you believe this? And he got me a little book. It's a little prayer book that teaches you the introduction to prayer. And he asked me the questions about, you know, do you believe in Allah and the Messenger, and do you believe in the Quran? And I agreed to all this stuff. And he says, you know what? You got a choice. You can do your Shahada now, but for all intents and purposes, you're a Muslim. You accept these things. You've got witnesses here. We know that you're a Muslim. But I would like you to come back on Friday because it's a very, very important day, and there'll be a lot of brothers and sisters here. And then it would be better for you to do your Shahada then, because then the community would recognize you. So, you know, it was difficult, and you know, now I got to wait a week, but it was good. I mean, I was at home. I took the book and I started to pray at home, and so I was a Muslim, right? So then on Friday I come in, and I had learned a number of things, but a lot of details, there's so much to learn at the beginning. There was a lot of details that people didn't go into. And in this particular case, it was Ramadan. The brothers had told me there's fasting and stuff, and I knew the general rules. So Ramadan had actually come on the Thursday before. So I started fasting for my first time, and it wasn't bad. I did make, you know, thinking I'm all tough and you know, hey, I can handle this. This is not a big deal. I can, you know, do whatever. So I went and played ultimate frisbee after fasting for 8-9 hours. That lasted about 10 minutes. I was on the sidelines. They all thought I was going to pass out and stuff. It just, you know, trying to be a tough guy. So I didn't do that ever again.